This story was narrated by Sheikh Abbas, who personally witnessed its events. There was once a man who loved spending his time with people involved in da'wah. He would always accompany groups spreading the message of Islam. One day, he traveled for vacation to a European country. Although it was meant to be a time of rest, events unfolded differently. While he was there, some brothers contacted him. They said, "Since you're here, and some of our team members are also around, why don't you join us for some da'wah activities?" He agreed without hesitation, saying, "No problem. I'll give you some of my time." This brother was an Arab, but the country he visited spoke French. They needed someone to translate during visits to the masjid. Another Arab brother, who spoke French fluently, volunteered to help. Together, they headed toward the masjid. Before entering, they went to the wudu area to make ablution. As they began, the translator suddenly collapsed onto the floor, suffering a seizure. He started shivering violently. The da'wah brother rushed to him, calmly placed his hand on the translator's head, and began reciting Quran, without panic and without trying to move him. He simply read, seeking help from Allah. Within minutes, the translator passed away. Due to strict laws in that country, the authorities treated the situation with suspicion. They accused the da'wah brother of causing his death. Despite explaining that he was only trying to help, he was arrested and imprisoned. The first year passed. Efforts were made by his home country to secure his release, but the European authorities refused. They insisted, "He is responsible according to our investigation." Despite being wrongly imprisoned, the brother continued his da'wah inside the prison. Day after day, he spoke to fellow inmates, and many accepted Islam through his words and actions. Still, the weight of injustice remained. The first year passed. Then the second. Then the third. Each year, he hoped for freedom, but it never came. By the fourth year, overwhelmed by sadness and the sense of being forgotten, his heart could no longer bear the pain. He passed away inside the prison. The authorities contacted his family. His relatives urgently called the Saudi embassy and requested, "Do not touch his body. Leave him exactly as he is." In that country, it was common for deceased prisoners to undergo autopsies, but this time, his body was placed into a freezer and left for 8 days. Later, it was transported by plane, taking nearly 8 hours to reach Saudi Arabia. Once the body arrived, Sheikh Abbas was contacted. He was told, "Please come to the airport. We will take him straight to the cemetery." Before heading there, Sheikh Abbas was informed about the situation. Knowing that a body kept in freezing temperatures and flown such a long distance would normally be disfigured, he prepared himself for a difficult sight. When they uncovered the brother's face, Sheikh Abbas broke into tears. He called the family and brothers who were waiting outside, saying, "Come and see him." As they entered and saw his face, they too wept. His face was shining. A beautiful, radiant smile appeared across his lips. His body was soft and fresh, as if he had just passed away. There were no signs of decay, no foul smell, no wounds, no marks. It was a clear sign of honor. Sheikh Abbas said, "As I prepared his body for burial, gently turning him from side to side, I could not stop my tears from falling onto him." After completing the ghusl and shrouding him, they prayed janazah and buried him. Later, Sheikh Abbas said, "I have seen many deceased people, some with good signs like sweet smells or smiling faces, but this brother remains unforgettable. His image is still fresh in my mind." This story is a reminder for those who reflect. Even when imprisoned unfairly, he continued to call others to Islam. He remained patient, sincere, and steadfast until the very end. Meanwhile, many of us, when facing small tests, a busy schedule, personal worries, put da'wah aside. May Allah make us among those who continue to work for His cause, no matter what challenges we face. And may He grant us patience, sincerity, and a beautiful ending.